Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Thursday, July the 23rd. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of our room. This is the address to get into our room. You can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Okay, this was obviously the stock of the day, guys. iTech, and unfortunately, I did trade it a little bit, but it was right in this area here for some little scalps. I missed all this move. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a way on. Um, we saw it obviously in the pre-market. It had news. I don't know if you know about too much about the way bios work, but generally, a bio has a phase one, a phase two, and a phase three. Phase one is really early on in development of a potential drug. Phase two is obviously a later stage, and then phase three, if they get the approval from the FDA, then they can basically go to market, I guess. Anyway, this company basically said that their phase two trials were over and they were approved, so they're on to phase three. So still, it could be years before this drug, if ever, makes it to the market. But the market doesn't care. They saw phase two approved, and look at this. I mean, this stock is up $11 at 16. This was a $4 stock, $5 stock before. And so anyway, watched it in the pre-market and definitely wanted to get into it. But look how wide these. This is 860 there. This is 780 there. Popped up. This got up to 867, down to 787, down to 770. And to be honest, I kind of lost track of it. I didn't really. I wasn't paying too much attention after that. I thought, well, maybe it's just going to be one of those things that the realization sets in that, okay, it's phase two, it's not phase three, they're not going to the market anytime soon, and maybe it would just drift down. Little did I know, of course, that this was going to happen. Now, one of the things, and I've asked Trade Ideas for this, and I'm hoping that this is a point that we can have in the future. You see right there, that is the pre-market high, 888, right at the top here. That's the pre-market high. And, having an alert when a stock goes above the pre-market high, or if you wanted to short something below, say, the pre-market low, I think would be great. And I've asked Trade Ideas for that data point. They've said they'll certainly consider it. So it would have been wonderful to get an alert right there. That would have brought my attention back to this stock. And more than maybe I'm not saying I absolutely would have taken it, but nonetheless, I certainly would have got interested in it. Now, what I was able to do, and this is like, we'll call this the poor cousin. I got to type in the right symbol. OHRP. Now, Lucky Luke came into the room, and he basically said that on his news scanner that he has, that they were talking about this could be a play off iTech, and look, this is when he came in. Look at the volume right there. And I watched this. I didn't really, but you would think that if anybody had an inkling that this might be a play off iTech. In other words, maybe they're in the same, maybe they're trying to develop the same type of drug. I don't really know that much about them. I was watching this for quite a while, and it didn't really do anything. But eventually, I did take the trade right here at 329. I sold some here at 339, and I'm trying to hold on. I want to see if maybe if tomorrow there's still some legs. I don't think so. I would have thought that people who missed the iTech would have been pouring into this if they thought that there was any chance at all that this could have a similar run. But we'll have to see. Certainly, I have a stop at 329 on this, so I will get out if it gets down there. So that was obviously the exciting news, and obviously tomorrow we have to watch this iTech to see what happens to it. So definitely on should be on everybody's radar tomorrow. Now, here is what I did do. This did not turn into a bad trade at all. This Flowtech Industries, again, here's the pre-market. So I think I alerted people to it in the pre-market that this was something that had to be watched. And sure enough, it had the big pop up immediately. These are 5-minute candles, yes. And I ended up taking the trade right here at 1650. Sold, now I have to get this right because I was in this three times. So I sold some at 1706. I don't have an arrow here, but I sold some right here at 1706. That's why the line is here. I sold some more at 1770. That's why the line is there. And I sold the balance at 17. Actually, I don't have the lines drawn, but I sold the balance at 1763 and 1750. So a great trade, over $1 on this one, okay, and very, very quick. Now, here's the pullback. Here it came back up again. Here, I guess here are the lines when I got out. But this, this should be obviously over, should have been over here. But anyway, now, got back into it when it popped over 18. Thought, okay, maybe this has got some more momentum. Took the trade right here at 1804. And again, I think this should be over in this area because I got stopped out at 1804. I got in. I got stopped out at 1798. Got back in the trade. So that's probably, yeah, it's hard to see, I'm sorry, on the way it's drawn here. But took the original trade the second time in 1804, stopped myself out when it broke down through 18, got back in at 1810 and sold at 1859. So, and then, it collapsed after that. And definitely have to watch this one again tomorrow to see what happens. So, great trade though. I mean, it wasn't an iTech, but it certainly, it made my day. Now, BEAV. Now yeah, this one was a kind of a tough one. This was on my best 10 list. The reason it was on this list is that yesterday it had earnings and it just absolutely collapsed. And I think we can see if I just scroll over a little bit. Here we go. So here was, what's today, Thursday? So here was Tuesday's closed, and here is where it just collapsed. And this was on earnings. So this was on my best 10 list, and best 10 doesn't mean that these are the stocks that I think are going to go up necessarily. These are just stock. Best 10 means these are the stocks I really want to pay attention to tomorrow because something may happen with it. I'm either looking for a continuation down, but generally I'm looking for a bounce because look at the gap that can be filled. Once the dust settles. I mean, it's an aerospace company. I don't know very much about them, but I doubt they're going out of business or anything like that. So they probably had either bad earnings or bad guidance or a combination of both. So anyway, that is why it was on my list. Now, I ended up taking this trade when it went over $49. Now, this was a really tough trade because if I look at the SPY at the same time, look at the SPY was just collapsing at, I think when I was in that trade. Let me just get back to BEAV. And so this was really, really hard to be in, to go long, because I think at this point the SPY was just going down. I think there's a way I can overlay. I'm not going to try it right now. I think there's a way I can overlay on E-Trade, or E-Trade. They'd kill me. E-Signal. But I'm sure there's a way, but you could see probably the SPY would be going down at the same time. So this was really tough to go long on this one, but I did get in at 49.19 and I sold at 49.48. I actually got very excited. I got all the way up to 49.67. Thought maybe it could really have a continuation, but I think at this point the SPY just really crushed it. And it has it would have been very difficult to hold on through all this, but and now I see that it's coming down again, and I will have it on my watch list again tomorrow because that's just too tempting a gap. And if the market is a positive tomorrow, who knows? Maybe this will it will have a chance to fill some of that gap. And the let's see, yeah, the other one was which was turned out to be pretty good. TSCO. I hope I marked it. Yes, TSCO. Now, this actually was on the opening range break. I had to do a reboot. Let me see if I can. I'll just do a history time frame. Okay, and I think what stock am I looking at here? TSCO. Just 1 second. Here we go. TSCO was an opening range break. We had some more good ones. I missed them. I was so involved with the Flowtech at the beginning that I missed some of these. But I did take the TSCO. $95 was the alert, and let me just get this off. Okay, so 95 was the alert, so it would have been alerted right in this level. So you can see why there is $95. There's the high of the 30 minutes. Okay, so right of the 30-minute opening range. So that's where I got the alert. Took the trade at 95.30 as it went up. Now this was another tough one, very spready, but I decided to take the trade. Look at this pattern. I mean, a little bit of a pullback and then pop right through the 95 again. And so I took the trade right here at 95.30. I exited two areas at 95.80 and 90 right here at 95.92 and 95.80. Got a little greedy on this one also. Here's 96.28. Was hoping to get a bid of 96.30 so I could make $1 on it. It just didn't happen, so I exited right here. So, but a good trade. I have tried to trade this one, I think, in a previous life, and it can be extremely whippy. So I was really happy to get out with a good profit on this one. And the only other one I took, which was, compared to all the other ones, was very boring. I took a little short on this one, sir. Took it at 29.39. Was alerted to it on I have a weak stock top list, and this was just looking weak. I waited for this little pull up, and then I shorted right here at 20.39. Again, got a little excited. It's got down to 20.23. Thought maybe it could at least get down to $20. And in fact, I said in the room that if it got down to into the teens, I would exit the trade, but didn't happen. So I exited some at 2029, and I exited the balance. I don't have it marked right here at 2032 or 2033. Yeah, 2033. So it's kind of boring, but I love these ones. I mean, sometimes the boring ones can really surprise you, and this could have surprised me. Could have gone down to the 20, and who knows what would happen after that. All right, so exciting, exciting day. It's fantastic to be in the middle of, or not middle, I guess, at the sort of the start of earnings season again. This is what happens. We get all sorts of wild fluctuations, though iTech certainly had nothing to do with earnings, but we get a lot more action, sometimes a little too much. I actually said in the room I had way too many bounce plays to take a look at, and so it was difficult in that regard. But nonetheless, I'd rather have too many than none or too little, though sometimes, I have to say, maybe modify that. If you have only four or five, then you can concentrate on them and maybe you get some good trades out of them. If you have 20, sometimes you miss them all, so you don't make any trades. But anyway, that's something I might have to work on. If I start getting too many, I will, on my bounce alerts, I will probably tighten up the filters, maybe make the relative volume a little higher, maybe make the RSI a little bit lower, things like that. Those are things I can do so I don't get quite as many. All right, I'm hopeful that I can actually use the charts tomorrow to annotate a little bit. I will have to see, but when I say the charts, I'm talking about our trade ideas charts. But we'll have to see. Anyway, thanks very much for listening. This again is the how to get into the room. There's me. I'm stalking trades all day long. I'm a cheetah out there, stalking trades all day long. Anyway, this is the address to get into our room, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow on Friday. Bye bye.